Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's me, Cameron, your fitness instructor today. What we're going to be doing today in our workout is going to be a lower body workout this afternoon, evening, or morning, whichever it is at your time that you're watching this video. And what we're going to be doing for this one is going to be a lower body workout for this video. So to begin, for our warm out, what we're going to be doing is a jumping jack. And what that's going to look like normally is going to be here. Just coming straight out, bring our arms up. If we want to, bring our arms up and clap if we want more of a challenge. Or just bring our arms here to wherever we feel comfortable. We're unable to jump. Another way we can do this is just by doing one arm and one leg at a time. Like this. That would be an easier way to do this exercise. So here we are at the beginning here. We're going to do this for 30 seconds in our warm up. And then after we conclude with our warm up, we're going to be stepping up to 45 seconds on our sets of exercises here on the next set of exercises. So here we are. We're at jumping jack. We're starting out here. A difficult way. Easier way. And the modified way. All right, we're resting here for about 15 seconds. The next exercise that we have coming up here for us, is going to be our crossbody kick. And what that's going to look like. Excuse me, my mouth is dry. What that's going to look like is we're going to be taking our foot here. We're just going to be kicking out across our body, coming back, kicking out across the body again. Riding. There we go. All right, and we're resting here again. Next exercise that we have coming up here is one of my favorites. Is what I like to call the baby bounce. So what we're going to be doing here, so we're just going to be doing a series of small little squats instead of full squats. And what it's going to be looking like is almost as if we're a baby that's trying to tell you that it has to go to the bathroom. So we're going to be going here, and we're just going to be going just like this for 30 seconds here. As fast as we can, remembering to breathe here. If we want more of a challenge, the lower you go, the harder it becomes. And the easier way is the less of a squat that you do, the easier it becomes. Here we are. All right, we're resting here once again. So the next exercise that we have coming up is going to be our high knees. So what that's going to look like here, we can have our arms straight out in front of us. We're just trying to bring our knees up as close as we can to our palms. If we want more of a challenge, if you get yourself into a rhythm, so almost as if you're doing a run with a high knee, like this, is a more difficult way of doing it. Easier way, take your time. And the easiest way to do it in this exercise is really just slowing it down, taking your time, driving one foot up at a time. So this one, it just depends on the speed that you're more comfortable with. There we go. Good job. Remember to breathe on all these exercises here as we'll pick up and you'll really start feeling those burning in that leg. All right, good job here. Once again, the more difficult way, adding that rhythm into it, picking up that pace, and the easiest way is reducing that speed. So we're going to be resting here. Next exercise that we're going to be picking up is going to be our squats. And so what we're going to be doing here for our squat is just going from our here, and our we can have our hands on our waist, we can have our hands on top of our head, whichever you're more uncomfortable with. What we're going to be doing is then taking our hips here. We're going to bend our knees first. We're going to start with our shoulder width apart. We're going to be bending our knees and then hinging at the hips. And we're just going to be coming straight down, straight back up. So once again, from the side, what it'll look like is first you bend your knee here, hinge at the hips, coming in and back up. In, down, and back up. There we go. What we don't want to do is we don't want, on our way down, we don't want to have any of this wobbliness coming down or on the way back up. We just want to have a nice straight down and back up. You want more of a challenge? Once you get down to the lower position here, if you want to hold for a couple of seconds and then bring yourself back up, that is a challenge as well that you can do to make this exercise more intense. If that's too difficult for you, the lower of a squat that you do is easier on you, and it helps you work on your form as well. All righty, so wait, wrong timer. All righty, here we are. Remember to bend at the hips and at the knees. You don't want to hunch over on your back here. Breathe on this. It's in on the way down, out on the way up. We're going to rest here for a couple of seconds. And the next exercise that we have coming up is going to be our crab walk. And so what that crab walk is going to look like here is we're just going to go into a squatted position here, almost as if we were going to sit into a chair, but not quite as low. And we're just going to be squatting our way up and our way back. If you want to add a little fun to it, having your pinchers here, pinching your way up, and pinching your way back down. Another way to make this exercise more difficult would be put some weights into those pinchers here and work your way on up. And like this, put your hands on your waist here. It adds extra weight onto your leg, something that some people may not be used to. You'd be surprised. And then an easier way to do it would be having less of a squat there and taking your time, going at a slower pace when you're walking your way up and walking your way back down. Once again, here we are. Here's a normal way of doing it. Easier way. And a more difficult way. All right, now we're resting here. So the next exercise that we have coming up here is going to be our wall sit. So what we're going to need for that is, like the exercise implies, we're going to need a wall. And with that wall, we're going to be taking it and using it in an imaginary chair. So what we're gonna do here, taking this wall, we're gonna put our back up against it. We're gonna put our back against the wall here. We're just gonna sit down for a nice little chair seated position, and we're gonna hold. We're gonna do this for about 45 seconds. If you want more of a challenge, add a kick in. Or an easier way, the lower that you, sitting up higher will make it more easier. But once again, the most basic way is just sitting down here in a nice chair position. Remembering to breathe. We're almost there. We're doing strong. Keep it up, ladies and gentlemen. Way to take your mind off of this is I like to sing a song inside of my head, or if I have somebody to talk to, I like to talk to them, and that takes my mind off the pain there. So what we're gonna do now is we can stand up here, and we're gonna be resting for a couple of seconds. Feel free at any time. Activity completed. During the video, if you feel the need that you need to get some water or that you're too tired, feel free to pause the video at any time and grab your break and take a break here. Get you some water and anything that you need. All right. So, uh-oh, I have the wrong camera angle. All right. So the next exercise that we have coming up here in our exercise set is going to be our shuffle with a squat here. Okay. And with the shuffle with the squat, what we're going to be doing is starting out in that squatted position here, in a slightly squatted position. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be shuffling to the side instead of forward and back. Just going side to side here. If you want more of a challenge, once you get to one side before you change direction, if you want to get there, add a deeper squat, and then come on up and slide your way over. Or an even more challenging way is starting out from a more standing position here. And as you work your way over, you don't want to cross your feet. You want to shuffle as well while you're standing. And as you get to side, start dropping a little bit lower and lower each time. An easier way to do that is just starting out at a higher squatted position and keeping that same. Or another way we could do this, more difficult ways, by adding weights here if you have them, and doing the same thing, just holding them here at about our hip joint and just working the same squatted position side to side, doing that shuffle. All right, here we go. Good job, everybody. Keep going strong. Once again, if you feel the need to pause the video at any time, feel free. Get you that rest break you need and hop back into the workout with us. All right, and the more difficult way of doing this, one of the ways, all right, and we're resting here once again. Next, what we have coming up is going to be our squat with a twist. And so what the squat with a twist is going to look like here is going to be
activity completed.
All right, what the next exercise is going to be looking like is going to be our squat with a twist. And so what that's going to consist of is going into our squatted position here, starting out in standing position, excuse me. Let me grab some water again. Starting out from our standing position here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking that step, or we're going to be going from our standing position here into our squat. Once we get into our squatted position, we just want to twist to the side, come back up. Next time we go down, make sure to twist to the opposite side and come back up. You want more of a challenge? Once again, you can add weight to yourself, or you can drop down into a lower squat and come on up. Once again, you really want to focus on your squat form. Make sure you bend at the knees and the hips before you twist that midsection there. All right, and we're resting. So the next exercise that we have coming up is going to be our deadlifts. And so our deadlift is going to be coming here with.
Activity completed.
And so our deadlift is going to be, easiest way to do it is with no weights at all. We're going to be coming in here with our hands. We're going to start out from our standing position here, or in our squatted position this time. We're just going to be coming straight up and standing up, straighten out, and working our way back down. If you want more of a challenge, adding weights will make it more difficult of a challenge here for you. I'm going to use weights because that's what I'm more comfortable with when completing this exercise. Once again, you want to really make sure feet are shoulder width apart. We're bending at the knee and hip joint area and not just hunching over at the back. Good job, everybody. We're doing good. We're almost there. All right, and we're resting. So the next exercise that we have coming up is going to be our mountain climbers. So what we're going to need for that one is if you have a table or wall, we can use that.
Activity completed.
Or if you're able to get down on the ground, that's the more difficult way of completing this exercise. And if you're able to get down on the ground, what it would look like is going into our push-up position here. And instead of pushing up, we're just going to be driving our knees up towards our chest as if we're running in place here. That's the more difficult way. Easier way of completing this exercise, if you have that table or chair, you can use that. Do the same thing. Drive those knees up towards that chest. And if it's too difficult for you to drive those knees up that high, you can take it at a slower rate and move. You just take your time, moving one leg at a time. This one is more about pacing and however comfortable of a lower angle that you're able to go at. So here we are. We're doing good, ladies and gentlemen. Let's finish strong. Keep up the pressure. All right, and we're resting. The next exercise that we have coming up here is going to be our Super Marios, as I like to call it. What that looks like, we're just coming here from our standing
Activity
position.
completed.
What we're gonna be doing is taking that step forward, and almost as if we're about to leap up off the ground, we're gonna drive that knee up, and we're just gonna come back down. More difficult way of doing this is going up on, making sure that you really go up onto your tiptoes as high as possible. And you really want to control your speed on this one. That's the main thing. Also, if you're able to add a hop into it and actually leave the ground in there, that is another way to make it more difficult. There we go. All right, and we're resting here. Good job so far, ladies and gentlemen. Next one that we have coming up here in this exercise is going to be our lunge.
Activity completed.
Excuse me. So what our lunge is going to look like here is we're going to be starting out here. I'll do it from a frontal view first. We'll be starting out with our feet staggered apart. As in you reaching down here, squatting down, coming back up, closing in, switch sides. Now take it to a side view. So once again, we're starting out from our closed position, staggering our feet, dropping down to where our knee almost touches the floor there, coming back in and back out. Easier way to do it is to dip, not to bring your knee as low as to the ground as you can. And a more difficult way is by adding weight to it once again. So here we go. Good job, everybody. Push through. Push through the pain. We're almost there. All right, now we'll rest it. Next, what we have here is going to be our calf raises. So what that's going to look like here, we're just going from my standing position here, raising up on our tiptoes. So you see from the side. The more difficult way of doing this is speeding up and completing as many as you can. And the easier way to do it is by reducing the speed. Make sure you're nice and controlled. The more difficult way, normal way, and the easier way. All right, I'm resting here. Woo. Let's flex our calves out real quick. Get that nice flex out. Feel free to grab you some water. Once again, pause the video if need be.
Activity completed.
And we're moving right along into our next last exercise for this workout for the day. So what that's going to consist of is going to be our side leg press. So what we're going to do for that one is we're going to need a wall, table, or a chair, side of the couch or something to hold on to balance ourselves with. we're gonna be doing is just gonna be pushing that leg out and bringing it in. If you want more of a challenge, grabbing a weight and holding it on the side of our hip here, down by our knee to push out, adds an extra amount of weight for us to move, but also adds a little bit more difficulty to this exercise as well. So here we are. Let's finish strong, everybody. We're about halfway through. We'll switch sides and get to the other leg. Good job, everybody. We'll switch. Woo. All right, we're resting. Good job, everybody. We're gonna push through the workout today. So what we're gonna be doing here for our cool down is first we're gonna be getting with
Activity completed.
is going to be our high kick. So what our high kick is going to look like is we're going to just be bringing our foot straight up as high as we possibly can with the kick, alternating legs. So it's here. All right, and we're resting here. Next, what's coming up is going to be our cross step. This is what that's going to look like. We're coming here from our starting position. What we're just going to be doing is just move from side to side here. Make sure to cross our feet over it. Or if you want more, that's the easier way to do it. More difficult way, if you're able to add a jump into it, is if we're doing a jumping jack. But instead of moving your arms, you're just crossing your feet over like this. If you're unable to do that, you're also able to just as fast as and pick up the faces where you're comfortable to getting. Alrighty, here we go. And we're beginning here. We're resting. Next, we have here to close out our exercise here, our session today, is going to be that baby bounce once again. Like we did at
Activity
the beginning,
completed.
we're just going to be doing that small little squat here in increments, just as fast as we can. So here we are. All right, everybody. Good job today. I'm going to push through this workout. I know it was difficult. I'm glad everybody was able to make it through. And I hope to catch you all for our next video. See y'all soon.
Activity completed.